Hey everybody, in today's video we are going to take a look at a really fun little button design, and we will learn how it's actually created using just HTML and CSS. It seems unbelievable that it's made using only HTML and CSS, but it actually is. It's a button that looks very soft, and when we hover over it, it has a nice hover effect where the border glows and the text fades in from the bottom with a smooth animation. The arrow icon also has motion, as you can see, and it appears to move slightly upward when we hover over it. When we click on this button, we can see some nice trailing effects flying out. And we also see the arrow with a smooth moving effect, which turns from the right to the bottom and then back into the button again. So that's what we decided to create today. Before we start, consider liking this video to motivate me and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss another tutorial. Let's start creating this cool button. Let's first start with the HTML file. We start with the body element. Inside the body, we place a single button. This button is going to act as our main container for the entire animation. It already has a class name of button, so we will be tying most of our styling back to that class. Right inside this button, we add a div with a class of BG. This little div is going to handle our blurred background effect later on. Think of it like the glow behind the button. Next, we have a large SVG. This SVG holds several path elements. These paths are shaped in different curves and strokes. Later on, they will be used to create a splash effect when the user interacts with the button. For now, just keep in mind that the SVG is simply sitting inside the button waiting to be animated. After that, we add another wrapper. This one is a div with a class of wrap. This wrap will hold the main foreground parts of the button. Inside wrap, we start with another SVG. This one draws a rounded rectangle path that will animate when the button is focused. It sits behind the text. Following that SVG, we introduce a div called outline. This outline will later be used for a glowing spinning highlight, but for now, it is an empty container that will eventually hold an animated gradient. Then we have a div named content. This section is where our text and small arrow icon live. Inside content, we find two spans. These spans each hold letters that spell out two different words. The first one is a char group in state 1 with letters that spell join today. Each letter uses a custom property to control animation timing. The second char group spells join now and sits in a different position so it can transition into view when the button is activated. Right next to the text, we have a small icon. This icon is built with a div and two pseudo elements that will animate into an arrow shape. And that is the full HTML structure of our button. All right, everybody. Now we move into the CSS, and we will take it step by step. I will walk you through the next portion of the style sheet and explain what each property is doing. Remember, we are keeping every property and value exactly as it appears. We begin with the body selector. The body is set to have a height of 100 VH. That means it stretches the full height of the viewport. We then set display to flex. This lets us center our button easily. The next two lines, justify content center and align item center, pull the button into the exact middle of the screen. Margin is set to 0, so the body does not add any extra spacing around the edges. Next, we move to the button class. This class begins by defining a collection of custom properties. These include white set to FFE7FF, purple 100 set to F4B1FD, purple 200 set to D19FF, purple 300 set to C389F2, purple 400 set to 8E26E2, purple 500 set to 5E2B83, and radius set to 18px. These variables will make it easier to reuse colors and shapes later on. Right after that, we give the button a border radius using var radius. We set the cursor to pointer so it behaves like a clickable element. The font size is set to 23px, and letter spacing is set to -1px to tighten the spacing a bit. The border is removed by setting border to 0. We then set position to relative. This is important because many child elements will be positioned absolutely inside this button. We then define the width and height of the button. Width is 220px and height is 80px. Finally, we apply two transforms. The button is rotated by 353 deg and then skewed slightly on the x-axis by 4 deg. This gives the button that playful tilted look. From here, we move into the BG class. The BG is positioned absolutely and set to inset 0. That makes it match the entire size of the button. It uses border radius inherit, so it shares the same rounded corners as the button. A blur filter of 1px softens whatever background effect we apply to it later. The next part defines the BG before and BG after pseudo elements. Both use empty content. They are positioned absolutely and fill the same inset 0 area. Their border radius is slightly larger using calc radius times 1.1. Their background is set to var purple 500. Then the BG before pseudo element gets extra styling. It has a blur filter set to 5px. It includes a transition set to all 0.3s ease. After that, we find a long box shadow list. Each line creates another layered shadow using RGB 115, 75, 155 with different opacity values. These layers form the soft glowing trail behind the button. We begin now with the wrap class. The wrap uses border radius inherit, so it matches the rounded edges of the main button. Overflow is set to hidden, which means anything that spills outside the wrap boundary will be clipped. The height is set to 100%, so it fills the full inside space. Then we apply a transform translate of 6px on the x-axis and minus 6px on the y-axis. This pushes the wrap slightly so the layered effect becomes visible. Padding is set to 3px. The background is a linear gradient moving to the bottom and transitioning from var purple 100 at 0% down to var purple 400 at 100%. The position is set to relative. A transition is applied using all 0.3s ease, so any movement or visual adjustment will animate smoothly. Next, we look at the outline class. The outline is positioned absolutely. Overflow is hidden. Inset is set to 0, so it fills the same overall space as its parent. Opacity starts at 0. Border radius inherit keeps all the corners matched. A transition of all 0.4s ease lets the outline fade in and animate gently. Inside the outline, we use the before pseudo element. Its content is empty. It is positioned absolutely, and inset is 2px, which shrinks it inward slightly. The width is set to 120px, and height is 300px. Margin is set to auto, so it centers itself inside the outline. The background is a linear gradient moving to the right. It starts transparent at 0%, becomes white at 50%, then returns to transparent at 100%. It has an animation named spin set to 3s linear infinite. Animation play state is paused, so it will not move unless the button is hovered. Then we move into the content class. Pointer events are set to none, so clicks can pass through to the button itself. Display is set to flex. Align items center and justify content center ensure the text and icons sit neatly in the middle. The z-index is set to 1, so it stays above background layers. Position is relative, height is set to 100%. The gap between elements is set to 16px. The border radius uses calc radius times 0.85 to round the shape a little less than the outer wrap. Font weight is set to 600. There is a transition of all 0.3s ease. The background is a linear gradient moving to the bottom from var purple 300 at 0% to var purple 400 at 100%. A box shadow is added. The first inset shadow is minus 2px, 12px, 11px, minus 5px using var purple 200. The second inset shadow is 1px minus 3px, 11, 0px using RGB 000 with 35% opacity. Next, we define content before. The content before pseudo element holds an overlay. Its content is empty. The inset is set to 0. Position is absolute. Z-index is 10. Width is 80%. Top is set to 45% and bottom is set to 35%. Opacity is 0.7. Margin is auto, so it centers vertically. The background is a linear gradient moving to the bottom from transparent to var purple 400. A filter is applied using brightness 1.3 and blur 5px. Now we come to the char class. The char container uses transition all 0.3s ease. It displays flex and aligns both axes to the center. Inside char, we have char span. Display is set to block, color is set to transparent, position is relative. The next selector char span nth child 5 adds a margin left of 5px. For char state 1, span child 5, the margin right is set to minus 3px. Then char state 1 span sets an animation. The animation is char appear lasting 1.2s with ease timing. It animates backwards and uses calc var I times 0.03x for the delay. Next, we style char state 1 span before and char span after. These both use content attribute data label. Position is absolute. Color is var white. Text shadow is minus 1px, 1px, 2px, var purple 500. Left is set to 0. Then char span before gets opacity 0 and transform translate y of minus 100%. We now reach the char state 2 selector. Char state 2 is positioned absolutely and its left value is set to 80px. This places the second text group slightly to the right so it can slide into view during focus animations. Next, we style char state 2 span after. Opacity is set to 1. This makes the second word visible once its animation triggers. From here, we go into the icon class. The icon has an animation named reset arrow lasting 0.8s using a cubic Bezier curve of 0.7, minus 0.5, 0.3, 1.2. The animation runs forwards, which means the element keeps its final state when finished. The z-index is set to 10, so the little arrow stays above any background layers. Now we move into icon div before and icon div after. All three share the following properties. Height is set to 3px, border radius is 1px, background color is var white, then icon div before and icon div after apply additional styling. Content is empty, position is absolute, right is set to 0, transform origin is center right, width is 14px, border radius is 15px. Transition is set to all 0.3's. Next we style icon div, position is relative. The width is set to 24px. A box shadow of minus 2px, 2px, 5px, var purple 400 is applied. Transform scale is set to 0.9. The background is a linear gradient moving to the bottom, transitioning from var white to var purple 100. The animation is swing arrow lasting 1s with ease and out timing repeated infinite times. Animation play state is paused until the button is hovered. Then we reach icon div before. Transform is set to rotate 44 deg. Top is set to 1px. A box shadow is applied with values 1px, minus 2px, 3px, minus 1px, var purple 400. Animation is rotate arrow line lasting 1s with linear timing set to repeat infinite times. Animation play state is paused. Icon div after is styled next. Bottom is set to 1px. Transform is rotate 360 deg. A box shadow of minus 2px, 2px, 3px, 0, var purple 400 is applied. The background is a linear gradient on a 200 deg angle transitioning from var white to var purple 100. The animation rotate arrow line 2 is applied lasting 1s with linear timing set to repeat infinite times. Animation play state is paused. Now we move to the path class. The path is positioned absolutely. Z-index is 12, bottom is 0, left is 0, right is 0. Stroke dash array is set to 150, 480. Stroke dash offset is set to 150. Pointer events are set to none, so the SVG does not interfere with clicking. Next, we look at the splash class. Splash is positioned absolutely. Top is 0, left is 0. Pointer events are none. Stroke dash array is set to 60, 60. Stroke dash offset is set to 60. Transform is translate minus 17% on the x-axis and minus 31% on the y-axis. Stroke is var purple 300. We begin with the selector button hover words. Opacity is set to 1. This makes the words visible when the user hovers over the button. Then button hover word span sets animation play state to running. That means any animations attached to those spans will begin playing on hover. Next, we style button hover char state 1 span before. The animation set here is char appear lasting 0.7 sets, using ease timing and delayed by calc var I times 0.03s. Then we have button hover char state 1 span after. Opacity is set to 1. Animation is char disappear lasting 0.7 cents using ease timing, also delayed by calc var I times 0.03s. Now we move into button hover wrap. Transform is applied as translate 8px and minus 8px. This pushes the wrap layer further outward to increase the sense of depth when hovering. Next, we see button hover outline. Opacity becomes 1. This makes the glowing outline visible. Then button hover outline before, button hover icon div before, button hover icon div after, and button hover icon div all set animation play state to running. This activates the spinning highlight and the arrow movements on hover. Now we reach the active state. Button active BG before adjusts the filter to blur 5px. Opacity becomes 0.7. The box shadow list is shortened and includes these values minus 7px, 6px, 00, RGB 115, 71, 55 / 40%, minus 14px, 12px, 00, RGB 115, 75, 155 / 25%, minus 21px, 18px, 4p0, RGB 115, 75, 155 / 15%. Next button, active content, changes its box shadow. The new values are inset -1px, 12p8px, -5px, RGBA 710137/0.4, and inset 0px, -3px, 8prpx, var purple 200. Then button active words and active outline both set opacity to 0. That hides both elements during the press animation. Button active wrap applies a transform translate of 3px and -3px. This compresses the wrap inward slightly to imitate a physical button press. Now we see button active splash. The animation applied is splash lasting 0.8x using cubic Bezier 0.3001. It runs forwards and includes a delay of 0.05. Next, we move into the focus state. Button focus path sets animation to path lasting 1.6x using ease timing, running forwards and delayed by 0.2s. Then button focus icon applies animation arrow lasting 1s using cubic Bezier 0.7 minus 0.5, 0.5 running forwards. After that, char state 2 span after, and button focus char state 1 span each receive the animation char disappear lasting 0.5s using ease timing and delayed by calc var I times 0.03s. Finally, button focus char state 2 span after gets animation char appear lasting 1s using ease timing backwards and delayed by calc var I times 0.03s. We begin with the keyframes named spin. At 0% transform is rotate 0 deg. At 100% transform is rotate 360 deg. This gives our glowing highlight a full spinning rotation. Next, we have keyframes char appear. At 0% transform is translate y 50%. Opacity is 0. Filter is blur 20px. At 20% transform is translate late y 70% and opacity becomes 1. At 50% transform moves to translate y minus 15%. Opacity stays 1. Filter becomes blur 0. At 100% transform returns to translate y 0 and opacity stays 1. Then we move on to keyframes char disappear. At 0% transform is translate y 0 and opacity is 1. At 100% transform is translate y minus 70%. Opacity becomes 0. Filter is blur 3px. Next we reach keyframes arrow. At 0% opacity is 1. At 50% transform is translate x 60px and opacity becomes 0. At 51% transform is translate x minus 200px and opacity remains 0. At 100% transform moves to translate x minus 128px and opacity becomes 1. Then we have keyframe swing arrow. At 50% transform is translate x 5px scale 0.9. Next is keyframes rotate arrow line. At 50% transform rotates to 30 deg. At 80% it rotates to 55 deg. Then we see keyframes rotate arrow line 2. At 50% transform rotates to 330 deg. At 80% it rotates to 300 deg. Now we move to keyframes reset arrow. At 0% transform is translate x minus 128px. At 100% transform becomes translate x 0. Next keyframes path. At the starting point stroke is set to white. At the end stroke dash offset moves to minus 480 and stroke changes to F9C6FE. Finally, we have keyframe splash. At the end stroke dash array becomes 260 and stroke dash offset becomes minus 60. And that's it. Our nice button is now ready. It looks cool, I think. So how do you think about this tutorial video? I mean, is it useful enough or not? Comment down below. And don't forget to like this video if you liked and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. So practice your skills and keep pushing forward. See you in the next one. Have fun.